Let's go. 1-2.
The sports wrap. George, Ringer. Hey, by the time most people watch this, it'll be September.
I know it.
That means football, baby.
And football is here.
Hallelujah.
No, it's here. And I mean, I'm sitting around and I'm watching our favorite rookie quarterback, Trey Lance, intercept with Jimmy Garoppolo, and they're taking turns. And I thought, Jimmy Malosky was 60 years before his time. He used to do it all the time.
Sure.
And here are these two incredible athletes taking turns on the snaps. Now, I'm not sure how they can do that, but I could see that would drive defensive backs just nuts.
Plays it, right?
They would do one. They would do one series at a time.
Okay.
And then Lance finished. I don't know, like the third quarter or something. He came in and finished up the game. But sports writers got to have something to write about. And this was the first thing. Hey, dual quarterbacks. Will it work? It's hard to say. I suspect that.
I think you can do it at the college level.
Yeah.
I don't think at the pro level it'll work.
Well, probably not.
That's just me.
Yeah.
But sometimes I'm a naysayer on those kinds of things.
Jimmy
I'm
Garoppolo.
opposed to change.
He ran it down. The next series came down, and Trey Lance scored. So it's one of those things, and they look remarkably alike. And when you consider Garoppolo's been there for quite a while, Lance is going to be a star in that league.
There you go. So, you want to talk about the Vikings?
We can go right to the Vikes if you want.
So I watched about, I'm going to say about 25 plays, and that was enough. I after the Bass weigh-in on Friday night, I got home. They had their third and about whatever, they were inside the 10-yard line or whatever. Cousins missed the pass a little bit, I thought. They kicked the field goal. I watched like 2 more series, and then I said, okay, there's other things to do. Eli was busy, and
Well, no, and KC was kind of taking them apart, and then all of a sudden, they had a change of quarterbacks, and things kind of turned around a little bit, and it wasn't necessarily just from the quarterback passing. I mean, what did Cousins get, 57 yards or something?
Something like that, 5 or 7.
Yeah, but
so I'm going to assume, and I never went back and looked, but I'm going to assume that the Vikings drove down the field to get within field goal range.
Yes.
See, to me, that's just it is what it is.
I think you have a team here that's chock full of talent. What you don't have chock full of talent is if you don't have 2 starting linebackers to really anchor that defense, you do have some issues. I think they've improved the defensive line. I think they've improved the offensive line. If Dennisok can come back and some of the rest of these guys that are hurt, they're not thinned up too much there, I think they'll be just fine. And, it's...
Yeah, I get worried. I shouldn't, but I do. I get worried about guys like Barr and these guys who've been nicked up a little bit, and they don't have their reps. There's playing at games.
Yeah, you're right.
You haven't been out there. Between Friday the 27th and Sunday the 12th is 16 days. I'm not a big fan of that.
No,
going into the regular season with 16 days off.
Well, and I heard one report they were talking about these preseason games. This might be the last year. They could be going to 18 regular season games. They thought that the players would like it better. They would probably get paid more. So I'm not sure just exactly what that big preseason thing does.
That's the way the Canadian League does it. 18 regular season, 2 preseason. I just... we found out that Irv Smith Jr. needs knee surgery.
Yeah,
that's a bad sign. He's a big athletic tight end. I am happy that they signed Harrison Smith to a 4-year extension.
Well, let's just stop there for a second.
Million.
Harrison Smith, they signed him for how much?
4 years, $64 million.
Okay.
26.4 guaranteed.
And somebody asked, was he given $40 million for a vaccination? Because that's a whole lot better deal than what Tim Walz is giving everybody else of $100. And so this isn't me making this up.
I was wondering where you were going with that.
No, this is of course my friend Patrick Russi, and he was laughing to beat the band. He says it appears right there. He gave him $24 million guaranteed. That there was quite a bit of money. What was that for? And he says, was that to make sure that he took his vaccine, and
I was hoping that it was to take receivers' heads off without hitting them in the head with your helmet.
Yeah, he is.
Which he likes to do.
He is. He's a bit harsh sometimes.
There's nothing wrong with that. You got to play on the edge a little bit.
I'm telling you, out there you do. That's the most dangerous position probably in the world. They come and thump you back there, and and he doesn't seem to mind.
No, he does not mind hitting other people. No. And so Zimmer came on after the game and basically said, once we get all our defensive bodies back out there, our linebackers, and Harrison Smith didn't play, and Patrick Peterson didn't play, and all this other stuff, and I'm like, okay, it still scares me that Joe Burrows and company is coming on Saturday or on Sunday the 12th, and we still haven't really.
No, and I tell you, Joe Burrows, nobody's kind of seen him around for a while, and he's coming back chock full of talent, and I guess completely healed, and with a lot better team around him, I hope. For them to have put him in that position without a very, very strong left tackle, and I think they had one and he got hurt, but you really have to protect your package, and I think that's kind of what Kirk Cousins has going for him. He's tougher than rock, and he takes a pretty good hit, but he's susceptible to COVID. It's as simple as that. And so you got to have a pretty good backup quarterback, and I'm
not sure we have that, but we'll see.
Well, I tell you, I've been watching this kid since he was in college, and somehow or other he seems to get the job done. He too is tough and probably smart enough to get a vaccine. So
we'll see. We'll see what happens.
It's going to
be interesting. Of course, we haven't seen Dalvin Cook and all the rest of this stuff. So it's very difficult, even though that the Vikings went 0-3, it's very difficult to say they did bad, they did good, they did this.
No, it really is. And they're a lot better team than 0-3, and so is the Green Bay Packers.
I agree with you there. And here's the thing about it. As nervous as Tim is on like a cat on a hot tin roof, with the Vikings not playing their guys, how about the Gophers not getting to play any preseason games, and they get to take on the number 4 team in the nation in Ohio State?
Well, I guess
not that we got to get away from pro football.
No.
Move to the Gophers, but I'm just saying, geez, if we're worried about the Vikings, we should be scared. I should be scared. You know what, Les, about the Gophers?
Well, I'll tell you. They're a heavy favorite coming in, and if you wanted to stand up and say I'm betting for the Gophers, there's a lot of people that will say I'll take that bet, but I remember back in 1977, folks.
Oh, here we go, 1977, baby.
Bo Schembechler and Michigan came to town, number 1 in the nation, number 1 defense, number 1 offense. They were smashing everybody, and the Gophers coughed up a couple of fumbles and beat them 16-0. The defense beat number 1 offense and shut them out and beat them 16-0. Stole that little brown jug. Whooped them for it. And then, a mere, 5 years later, 1981, Ohio State comes in about the same situation. Minnesota's down 2 touchdowns in the third quarter. You had to start thinking positive, folks. What happened? They come back. Jake Carroll caught a touchdown pass, his third of the day. Minnesota wins 35-31. That was the last game of Memorial Stadium. This not only can happen, it does happen. I have a feeling that this could happen again. And so it's just these when you're around a long time, you can see that this can swing. Now,
the Gophers do have 2 things going for them.
Yeah.
I think we've talked about them before on this show. Ohio State has an inexperienced quarterback.
They do.
That's something they can take advantage of, and it's game 1.
Yes.
Now, the Gophers can try to surprise Ohio State. I think Ohio State is going to do what Ohio State does. I think the Gophers will try to go out and do what they do. But I think the Gophers go out there with a nothing to lose attitude and see what happens.
Well, did you know their offensive line is the most experienced offensive line in the nation? They have more starts, and if you take a look at it, they're all redshirted seniors. There's 1 redshirt junior. There's 1 other senior I'm not sure. There's a sophomore on the bunch, and these guys are huge. I mean, all three. The skinny one, the 315-pounder, he plays center, and boy, you should see him move. And I also think that if they get this, they can probably take advantage of a not so good defensive secondary of Ohio State. If there's any weakness there, it's probably in that secondary. But if we go with the theory that they're just reloading, I suppose they have 2 or 3 young All-Americans back there, but maybe not. So
let me ask you this question.
Sure.
So when it comes to Thursday night,
yes,
how am I going to keep you focused on our football game versus the other football game?
I don't know.
How am I going to make that happen?
I've got it recorded, and I understand. And I mean, I will have all the karma possible. I mean, you explained the realities of the situation a long time ago, and I've learned to accept it. But it's going to.
The Bronco football game is on Thursday night at the same time that the Ohio State. So my thought is this. Okay, here's what most people would say. Well, you guys are doing a high school game. That's a college game. You guys will be done in 2 hours. Theirs is like 3.5, and I'm going to go no, because the Broncos are probably going to throw the ball 30 times.
Yeah.
Chisholm's probably going to come out and throw it 40, 50 times.
They're going to be all over, yeah.
We probably aren't going to get done till about 9:45.
Yeah.
And by the time we pack up all the equipment and I go do whatever I got to go do, the game's going to be over.
When I get home and start the rewind, I do know I will be up late, and it's but I don't mind. It's that time. It's that season. I get excited about football.
Yeah, and so did you watch any football this weekend? I mean, college football, because let's be honest, preseason football.
I did watch the fourth quarter, third and then the fourth quarter of the Nebraska-Illinois game, and Illinois is really good, and I think Nebraska coach is
Frost is done.
He's hanging by, just if not hanging by a thread.
He will not make October.
No.
I have to share this. It's not nice to do this, but seeing as how I'm a little chunkier than most guys, I probably can get away with this. But there was a tweet out on Saturday, and the tweet was something similar to this. It looks like Brett Bielema swallowed Barry Alvarez. And I couldn't stop laughing when I read it. Now, I didn't see Bielema. I know Bielema used to be pretty svelte in his day.
Oh, he really was.
I know he's put on some weight, and I know about putting on weight. But I thought that the whole Barry, that they were both at Wisconsin. And anyway, I just thought it was humorous.
No, I mean, and
somebody came up with it.
I've heard some stories about him too, because he coached a Chaska boy down in Arkansas,
Yes.
and I guess he's just really a character, just big time. And hey, if you're going to have a prerequisite to coach in the Big Ten, you better be a character. They are all there. Yeah. But I'm going to tell you right now. Remember, with the Gophers, Mo Ibrahim is one of the best running backs in the nation, and he gets a little squeak. He can go. I understand Ohio State has a great bunch of defensive linemen and linebackers.
They always do.
They always do. I don't know where they get them. I don't know.
I think in the factories, I think is where they get them from, Georgia. Factories.
So and I know, where does this whole thing start? Offensive line. So that's where the line play is going to be.
I've been thinking. I think when the Gophers were playing last year, they were playing. God, it seems like I want to say they were playing Penn State, and they had a kid, a running back, and he was having a heck of a first quarter and a half, and he got hurt. Now that's the guy I'm waiting on. I can't think of his name right now, but that's the guy I want to see. I want to see the 1-2 punch.
Yeah.
A lot of Mo and a little of this guy, a little thunder and a little lightning type thing. So.
Well, and Tanner Morgan is still going to go down as one of the best. Hey, out of the top 10 Heisman candidates, 8 of them are quarterbacks. The rule is this: if you have a quarterback, you have a chance to win. And I'll go with Tanner Morgan as opposed to anybody. I've been reading. Yes.
See that? They got Ohio State on the front here in Minnesota. The Bucks are all in chasing title.
You know why?
You know what? You can't win a title if you lose game.
I got them when I ordered this magazine. I ordered the one with the Gopher on it, which was Mo Ibrahim. and they were sold out. So what can you say?
So you get Ohio State instead. What the heck?
Yeah, no, I'm just saying all the karma points right now to Minnesota.
I'll
They're
tell you
coming
what,
in.
George, if the Gophers win, you are going to look like Jimmy the Greek, and I don't know who else all rolled into one. I talked to another sports fan today while I was on the radio while we were doing our live remote, and I asked him right on the air, I said, Pete, what chance do you give the Gophers? And he said, none. He said, blowout. Bad.
No way. That's not going to happen.
He said the Gophers stand no chance on Thursday.
Oh, they probably don't stand
He said,
a
I hope I'm wrong.
but it's not going to be a blowout. And I'll tell you why. They have this defensive line, and I'm talking about Boye Maji. They call his talents freaky. They call him a freak. He can do things as 265-pound defensive lineman that the only one that I could compare him to would be Gable Steveson. This kid is something. So I think the talent is there. The age is there. Hey, they're all 24 years old. When they started this thing, they were all 18, 19. That was one of the youngest teams. Now they're one of the oldest. I think right now Ohio State is going to come in and grab a tiger by the tail, and it might be all easy to climb on top, but it's a lot harder to get off. And Ohio State that's happened before. Yeah.
George, you're giving me hope.
Oh, yeah, of course.
He's giving me hope, everybody.
Well,
all right.
And as long as we're talking there,
Yeah, here, let's hold that up.
We
here.
bring on number 72. This is, there you go. That's
Yeah, there's all the karma you need, folks.
That's
we got
all the
Bronco
karma
Nagurski.
you need.
It's number 72 working for us on Thursday night.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And he would love nothing better than to beat Ohio State.
Yeah.
Michigan mostly, but Ohio State too.
The Bronc.
The Bronc.
So what else college football? Is there something else that you saw this weekend? I didn't get to watch much.
Well, I tell you,
there wasn't a whole lot of it on.
I did watch UCLA and Hawaii played, and Sue kind of says, "You're running out of games." And no, this is because I wanted to see UCLA. They're kind of a team that comes and goes, and they're playing Hawaii, and I think the Pac-10 or Pac-12 or whatever it is right now. And the independent thing, they're going to have to do something to straighten some of that stuff out, and it's
going to be interesting to see what happens. Okay, we haven't talked about the whole Texas, Oklahoma leaving.
No, we haven't.
The Big 12 and going to the SEC in 2025, but the Big 10 and the Pac-12 and who did I forget? The ACC. They all got together and said, we need to take care of each other because the SEC pretty soon is going to be dominating the landscape with all the big-time football. And so they decided that they were going to make an alliance and make sure that they schedule some big-time games in the interim instead of Minnesota, putting up nothing against Miami of Ohio or Middle Tennessee State or Central Michigan.
Well, and the key is
we might get Oregon.
And I'll tell you right now, Miami of Ohio is an MAC defending champion. They got a really good team.
I didn't mean to. I don't want to drag it.
That's a trip-up game. You look at that, you think, oh, that's just what you want, especially after Ohio State game. You could wind up 2-0 and ranked in the top 10. Or you could wind up 0-2 and drop out of the top 25. It's kind of a picky situation.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yes.
So I'm excited for college football to get started, get underway. It's time for it to come on. I'll be honest with you. George told me UMD played this weekend. I said I have no idea who they play. He told me they play the Peacocks. I'm like
Upper Iowa University.
Upper Iowa.
The Peacocks.
So it's going to get crazy.
They are all going to be. A lot of those UMD games are going to be on television. And my favorite color man, Benny Repish.
Is he going to be back?
Vinny's going to be back, and if you want to, I'd really like to be a lot more like him, but my wife won't let me. So we do what we can. But if you want to hear a guy have a good time calling UMD games, Vinny's my man.
We've got a pair of high school football games coming up. Finishing up with football, the Broncos play Chisholm for the first time in 45 years. On Thursday night, we'll be there to bring all the action on the radio or yourliveevent.com if you're outside of the area, or you can listen on rjbroadcasting.com if you don't have the power in a computer or a device to watch us online. And then Friday night we'll be down in Kelliher. We're going to do the North Central Stars versus Cromwell, Floodwood, Wright. I don't know how many of those names are going to get in there. But the Cardinals are, well, they used to be the Chargers when they were Cromwell, Floodwood in the former day. But so we've got a couple of football games of our own this week.
Well, and I of course, I'm a history freak, so I look back. Who graduated in 1977 that would have played in the '76 game, and the Christie brothers were there. They worked for the cities, and both of those guys were nice, big, substantial linemen, and there were two of them, and so that was quite a team, and I just remembered that pair as being quite a set of characters. But that's a long time because the Christie boys are they're my age now. So
it's going to be fun.
It's going to be fun.
As I mentioned earlier, I think we're going to see a few footballs in the air. But at the same time, from what I'm hearing, maybe the Broncos are going to run the ball a little bit more this year.
Well, I saw this in one of the scrimmages that they had. I saw a wedge quarterback sneak. And I thought, oh, they've been listening to us at last. No, I don't mean that. I stay out of the way. I talked to the running back Diego Christensen today in the gym, and how did the scrimmage go? Oh, it went well. You guys were everybody was happy, and nobody got hurt. No, because I was, they've had.
It's a big concern when you only bring 21 guys to a scrimmage.
Yeah, and a couple of them are fishing.
And a couple of them are fishing.
That part I don't understand. And I'd probably give that big Loveless
a chance to win a state title. I think that has something to do. Anyway,
did they?
They were in the state. They were fishing in the state tournament. I didn't look. They got done this afternoon. I haven't checked my phone.
It's been Loveless could scare those fish in the boat.
I'm going to tell you a story about Mr. Loveless when we get off of the air. I will not do it to you, Gavin, on the air. Yeah. But he had a little faux pas. But I'll tell you about it off the air.
Okay, no, he's a great kid. He's got a good sense of humor, and he's fun to watch play football.
Scrimmage,
no,
but I will say this: I talked to Jared Koscheck today, who was on the coaching staff. Yeah. He said we had two different teams come up and tell them your defense is playing like animals. So I'm excited to see. I have not watched the tape. Excited to see what they do and see how things go and see how they cover the pass. That is the big question mark.
It is.
Because Chisholm's got one receiver that if they do the same things that they did last year, they will be targeting this kid many times in the game. And I think the Broncos have a plan to try to slow him down. So let's hope that they do it.
Well, it's these days you got to stop the pass, and that's just kind of the way it is. On the other hand, you have to stop the run too, and so we'll see what happens. I saw a couple of formations where there was two setbacks. I like that too.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot of that this year. Actually, I do.
And what you can do with that, of course, is student body right. Student body. It gets some people out in the front.
Well, what I like about it is they've got a young offensive line in front.
Yeah.
Now if you keep those two guys in, now you're blocking with 7. Now you give your quarterbacks some time to throw the ball, not be rushed, take care of business, pick up blitzers and those kinds of things. So we'll see. It's going to be a fun start to the season. The Broncos get Moose Lake the following week, which will be substantially tougher because Moose Lake Willow River is always good. So they're kind of like Ohio State. They don't rebuild; they just reload.
Yeah, they do. It's quite a team they have.
And I wish we had a better scouting report on North Central, but hey, we'll go do what we do and see what happens.
We'll figure it out. It won't take long.
Yeah. So, what's next?
You want to talk a little baseball?
Sure, let's talk baseball.
It's really kind of amazing. You watch these Twins. If this would have been a normal season, you would say this wasn't a bad August. Except a pretty good August. The problem of it is they have now they've lost Miata they have really no starting pitchers. And it's just maybe some possible starting pitchers at best. And they're going to have to, somewhere between now and next March, come up with a revamped pitching staff from top to bottom.
Yeah, Kenta Maeda, possible Tommy John surgery coming up Wednesday. We'll see if that is the decision, the diagnosis. To me, yeah, you take their number 1 and their number 2 starters, Barrios and Maeda, out of the loop. It seems like to me that Griffin Jacks and Bailey Ober pitch every day. It seems like when I'm on the radio, those are the only 2 guys that I say are pitching. John Gant pitches the other game, and then it's just like it's only those 3 guys. It's like we're back in the 70s.
Well, it is.
When we only had 3 or 4 guys pitching. And so, you know, if they didn't have to play the New York Yankees, it'd have been unbelievable August. But it is what it is.
My point, you know, pitching staffs are really hard to make. Good pitching staffs take years. And right now, I see the Twins kind of having starting from scratch there. Now, the rest of it, I mean, if they could keep a Buxton happy and healthy, and you know, I mean,
he's in center field today.
Yeah, there he was. And the other thing is, of course, I look at that and I says, you know, we're in the last place of the division. What's next one above us? Detroit?
Kansas City. Kansas City was, but they've been playing out of their minds lately. So I'm not sure that they may have not snuck ahead of Detroit.
So we're fighting for last place there.
I think they're taking the right approach to it. That we're building for next year. So let's get some of these kids some innings. Let's get some of these guys. You know, Sano hit his 23rd home run. Yesterday on Sunday.
Oh, I mean, it could be worse. They could have got rid of him too. And David Ortiz
has hit some home runs. So, you know, there's flashes of good stuff there.
There is. There is.
Our good buddy Wyatt Ulrich.
I took a look now. He dropped to about 337. But you know what? I jotted down just a couple of things here. He is. He's up to 333 with 112 hits, including at 333 at bats. He's got 112 hits, 15 doubles, 6 triples, and a homer. He had more at bats, I think, than anybody else in the team, and a lot more hits. But I'm not so sure how many of those players hadn't been cycled out of the team.
Absolutely.
But he was on top of the heap. I would say. For his rookie season with the Canaries, I think the final games are the 4th Monday.
Labor Day is the final game, and personally, I can't wait to get him home.
Yes.
Get him back to International Falls, Indus, for a week or so. I hope he decides to come home.
Yeah.
And I hope we can put him right about here.
That'd be a good place.
So that we can chat with Mr. Ulrich and put him on here, and I want to talk about the season and the struggles and the good stuff and the bad stuff and everything in between, and let them just air out how the season went.
It's one of the things where was he the best baseball player to ever come out of International Falls? Oh, I don't know. Do you know a better one? No. And so there you are. And so and he's still playing for the love of the game, and I think that's the American way right there.
And to think about this now, and I'm not trying to build in an excuse, but I think we've talked about this before. He started playing baseball in February. So he's put in his 6-month stretch.
Yes, he has.
So if the average is dipped here towards the end, I completely understand. It's a tough gig going through all those games. So I'm just proud to say he's from the Falls, and just keep doing what you're doing.
When you take a look of the journey that he's taken from St. John's up to Bismarck, all the other teams that he's played for, out to Richmond, over the thing. I mean, this is what books are made of. And plus the fact he got a fair to middle education. Well, no, at St. John's he probably got a very good one. But
nothing like you get at UM.
Yeah, we don't have to.
I can't wait to ask him, and he's probably going to hear about this from his dad, because his dad watches the show. But I want to know what was the highlight of the year. Now, like I said, I hope we get to ask him while he's sitting here and answer this question. But he had a 29-game hitting streak. He had a 51-game on base streak. He got his number retired by the Bismarck Larks, and he was put into their Hall of Fame. Now, I want to ask him which one of those, when he's 70 years old and he's sitting out on the front porch, which one is he going to go, man, that's the one I love the most.
Well,
that's the one I'm most proud of.
I think right now he is just absorbing this whole thing, because you're talking about a kid that's pretty bright. I mean, he knows what's going on, so he'll put it in the right perspective, I'm sure.
He always does.
Yeah,
he always does.
Yeah,
he always got his feet in the ground.
Always have his feet in the ground.
What we got.
Yes.
Anything else baseball wise you want to?
No, the season's almost over. It's football season that's coming along, and so yeah.
I do want to mention the U.S. Open tennis gets started today. I'm hoping that I get to watch a little tennis here coming up over the next couple of weeks. New York always kind of brings out the best in players, sometimes the worst.
Naomi's back playing, and
Naomi's back playing.
And Djokovic.
I hope Djokovic doesn't put a tennis ball in a referee's throat this year.
Yeah.
So we don't have to go through that.
Yeah.
Djokovic has a chance to win the Grand Slam, win all four. I think he's going to do it, but those are the things that I'm looking forward to. And of course, you get a little night tennis. So when you sit down in the evening and you're drifting off to sleep, you got a little tennis on, which I enjoy. That's always a good thing. So we'll see.
Do you have any comments about Mr. DeChambeau on the golf course?
You mean Mr. DeChoker? Bryson DeChoker? That's what I texted Uncle Paul yesterday when he missed, I think, the second or third putt to win it. And so I said, Bryson DeChoker. And I'll tell you what, I haven't sat down and watched golf probably since the British Open. So 6 weeks, I probably haven't sat down. So yesterday, amongst all the craziness of life, Eli decided we should go for a bike ride. Okay, great, we'll go for a bike ride. So, of course, we went east towards Rainier first with the nice wind. Then we had to turn it around and come home against
that's
the
the
wind.
bad part.
So we got home about 4 o'clock and I'm just beat. I'm like, so I sat down in the chair and I flipped on the TV, and of course the Little League World Series was finishing up, and there were other things going on. But I couldn't stop watching the golf. And 2.5 hours later or whatever it was, it finally came to an end. It was good theater. It was fun. I enjoyed it. The end of the season, the playoffs are on. The last tournament of the year is next week, and then of course, hey, we're only 4 weeks away from the Ryder Cup, and holy smokers!
Those guys are going to have to live together. And they says, can you live with DeChambeau? He said, yeah, for a couple of weeks. And but it's like Brucey said today, my good friend. Forever irritating. DeChambeau is just magic in those sticks, and he's such a jerk, and it's just he's just a jerk, and for him to do childish things like that, he says, but maybe golf does need a bad man, and he fits the bill.
Every sport kind of needs that. You might be right about that.
Yeah,
I wish, and I know it's not going to happen. But Bryson, when he putts, he keeps those arms straight. I think he needs to loosen a little bit. I understand why he's doing what he's doing, to have that pendulum motion. But you got to have a little touch, a little feel that golf ball will come off a little softer. That's just me. As much as I know about golfing, that's my 2 cents worth on it. But Bryson DeChambeau. He's the bad boy. We'll let him be that. So.
No, and when Tiger's hot, the whole world watches golf. Well, what else you got to watch? Well, this is full contact golf. We're thinking somebody might get smacked in the head here, or get nailed with a good tackle.
And I will give Bryson credit.
Yeah.
He put that one in the crick on 18 on the third time through or fourth time through yesterday. I thought there was no chance. I thought it was over. And then, of course, he drops and he puts one in within, 5 feet or whatever it was. And I'm like,
after a lousy shot, those guys can recover so well.
That's the big thing.
That's the big thing. Yeah.
Loons won on Saturday.
They did. Yeah.
Sitting in 5th place in the Western Conference. They get a couple of weeks off.
Yeah, they do, and then they'll come back. Again, they didn't have a particularly good start, and then they came on like gangbusters, and then it's been flopping back and forth. But they're not done with this season.
What do you think about the Bronco Bass Fishing Tournament?
I thought
not the Bronco, the IVFBC, the International Falls. I hope I didn't do that too many times on the air.
Of course, I know Leroy Wilson real well, so the whole family, my grandsons were in the boat on the parade, and everybody was pulling for Leroy. He's turning into one of the top shelf fishermen around, and he takes my grandsons fishing. They think that they're going to play basketball with John Wooden or something. I mean, Leroy pulls a pretty good load with the family, so we're really pulling for him, and they did a nice job.
Took second place, nothing wrong with that. John and Jace Peterson, I don't even know, I guess I would say like grandnephew, I guess,
yes.
His brother's grandson, and Jace won it when he was 15, now he's won it again when he's 21.
Yeah.
So he's 21 and he's won twice. How many is he going to win before it's all said and done?
And those were hogs those guys pulled out of there. Easily you could see, unless Leroy comes up with a jumbo, maybe a 20-pound northern, but each one of them were just fat-bellied. And and I noticed all the fishermen, they held the fish up, and they laid it down with both hands. Yeah, they draw a couple when they first got going.
And I think the big thing about that is they know that those fish have been under stress. Even though they've been in the live well, they know they've been under stress maybe 6, 7, 8 hours in that live well, maybe more. And they try to take care of them. They want those fish to still be out there
yes,
so they can go out and do it all over again.
Do it all over again.
Bronco Volleyball got a nice win on Thursday night. They took down 2 Harbors in 3 sets, and they get Northwoods on Tuesday. They get MIB on Thursday during the Bronco football game. So they'll be a little late on fit. Hey, by the way, coming to the Bronco football game, bring your umbrella. 80% chance of rain on Thursday.
Oh yeah, well that's.
So we'll be standing inside, right?
We'll
be standing inside. Anyway, and Bronco swimming.
Yeah.
Girls swimming and diving. We're supposed to have a home meet Tuesday. Oops, we got a little problem with the pump for the pool at Falls High. So Northeast Range are going to switch home dates. So the Broncos will have a home meet on October 19th instead of on August 31st. So they'll just switch those around and do it that way. So
well, and I just say, as long as we're bringing it up for the football game, we're going to be a third party on our announcements, and that's Randy Anderson.
He's going to be there.
He is going to be there.
All right, I got to get all the equipment out then tomorrow.
He hesitated, and his wife says no, do it. So it's.
Randy Anderson will be a great addition.
A great addition. He's a ranger and a coach and just a super guy.
Yeah, we'll put him on. We'll get him on the air. We'll get him down on the sideline. We'll get him all hooked up with equipment and everything else. So, yeah, you hadn't told me that, so yeah, I'm excited about that. Anything else?
No, that kind of does it for me.
Women's World Hockey Tournament. I almost forgot.
Isn't that going on?
It's going on right now. Matter of fact, the championship game, I'm going to assume, is going to be between the U.S. and Canada.
Yeah.
Canada put a snot bubble on the Americans, 5-1 on Thursday.
They did.
Can they do it again?
Canada's a pretty good hockey team, and they've been doing this for the last couple of years. So
I say the U.S. wins in overtime. There's the prediction. U.S. wins in overtime, 3-2.
And you call me optimistic about the Gophers. No,
the United States is very good.
U.S. women are really good, and they'll give them.
Did you watch the Blue Bombers on TV? They were on ESPN2 last night.
No,
they would not let me go to bed. I was trying to get to bed early because I had to go do the news as well because Dwayne was on vacation, and so I had the alarm set for 4, and I'm like, I can't stay up and watch this football game. I got to get to bed. Well, son of a gun, there I am at 9 o'clock watching the Stampeder 52-yard field goal at the buzzer go just wide, just short and wide. So the Bombers moved to 3-1. So keep up the good work, Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Hopefully, maybe I'll get up there.
You always wanted to go up and watch one, see one of those games. You've done it, haven't you?
I have. I've been up to watch the Bombers about 7 times, I think. So it'd be great if I could find an evening to get up there, but
you're busy.
I don't know. It's kind of a crazy time.
Did you have a son the last time you went and saw the Blue Bombers?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, I did have a son, but he was toddling. Maybe I should just take him with me.
That's the deal. He's getting to the age.
He's not double vaccinated though. Will they let him in?
Yeah. Well, leave him at the bridge. Tell him you pick him up on the way back. They'll let him in.
I'll leave him in War Road out there at. Oh my gosh, what's the name where you cross? It's not War Road.
Oh,
it
no,
is.
it's
Steinbach was the town with all the cars. I couldn't think of any.
I can't
Oh my
remember,
gosh.
and I've been through it too.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I've got it pretty much covered.
Go Gophers on Thursday night. Go Broncos Thursday night.
Yes. Boya Mafi is my favorite defensive lineman, and he's got to work on Thursday.
Thanks everybody for watching. We'll talk to you next week.